Moment, I'm live. Look, here is a quick post about telling the truth, but I've labeled it that we have to stop faking it. Because when I look at the airways, when I look at the posts which are online, there is so much out there which only tells us a part of the truth. And of course, we all know that you can't construct anything unless it has a solid grounding in facts, in reality, in life as it really is. So it's difficult to tell the truth at the moment because the voices we get in the media are so loud, so strong, so oft repeated, so deafening that very quickly they actually have us all thinking along the lines of the narratives which they are painting for us. That's one thing. The second thing is that when it comes to being able to resist those narratives that are being thrust upon us, whether it's medical care, whether it's in the way we run our economy, it's in the way of international relations, but whether it's in the way of international conflicts, when you put up the opposing voice, your voice is very quickly muted. And so it is that we find ourselves in a situation that most people, just to get along, fake it. They tell lies. They tell sweet little lies that they feel that everybody's going to agree with, just so that they can get on and not have eyebrows raised against them or in their direction. There is a particular form of this fakery that is caused by something that I have recently started calling Eurotoxicity. Eurotoxicity is the toxicity which results from the fact that the powers that are European based must always have the final word, or that the Western European cultural, economic, and political viewpoint is that which is telegraphed very, very, very wide across the world and is the voice that people are expected to listen to, whether they agree to it or not. Of course, what this means is that if the Europeans are charting a course which is leading to their own and our destruction because of the fact that Europe is so economically, politically, and latterly militarily dominant. And by the way, when I say Eurotoxicity, please include America, because America is, this might really cause offense, it's kind of Europe light. I mean, America was created by the Europeans in their own image. It just that it was like Europe on steroids. Okay, so when that happens, the rest of the world's voice is muted. Nobody is able to hear anything. You go onto any conversation stream, you will find a Eurocentric narrative being put through. If you get up with a different perspective, you will be shocked at the number of people who jump up and scream up as if, who the heck invited you to raise your voice? Now, I'm going to explain how this Eurotoxicity works by reference to a phenomenon in psychology called in and out groups. It is known that when human beings come together, kind of group dynamics functions in the way that people form groups which are in groups and groups which are out groups. The in groups are those who are in charge, drive attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors for the total compendium, and they're the ones who have the privileges and the authority. How you know you're in the in group is how three things happen to you. Number one, whoever and whatever you are becomes normalized as okay. So, for example, if you're a member or perceived as a member of the in group, you could be as eccentric as you like. Somehow, people will find the opportunity to consider you as a little bit of an oddball, but you're a crazy diamond. That's somebody who is really kind of unique and a real treasure, salt of the earth. Though you're a little bit, should we say, louche, a little bit on the kind of distaff side of life, you will be normalized. That's how you know you're in the in group. Second thing is your individuality is individualized and it's never used to judge you badly. So again, as I said, if you have a particular way of speaking, if you have a way of presenting yourself and so on, people will say, well, if Tet is a member of the in group, they say, well, that's how Tet talks. Or, oh, okay, that's how Tet dresses. Or, yeah, that's the way Tet walks. Or, that's his manner with people. It doesn't mean anything by it. Your individuality is used to actually elevate you as something that is unique and special and valued. That's when you're in the in group. The third thing that happens is that when you're in the in group, you are supported. So you're normalized, you're individualized, i.e., made unique and yet valuable. And then finally, with all of this going on, you are supported. And typically, what happens when people are like that and are supported is that they're the ones who chuck in oddball, crazy, left field ideas and so on. They can come up with really amazing, creative stuff. And what does it do? It adds to the welfare of the overall group. Now, look at it on the other side. The person who is in the out group, if Tet is on the out group, he will not be normalized. The things that are different about Tet will be highlighted and if you like, used as a means by which he is demerited. Okay? He will not be individualized. The things that are unique about his individuality will be used as proof of why he shouldn't fit in to the group. Remember, the in-group member, his individuality is used as the very reason why the group should even treasure him more, because he's a crazy diamond, because he's something special. But when he's a member of the out-group, his individuality is the reason for which he is absolutely shunned. And the third thing about membership of the in or the out group is the support that your membership status gives you. Remember when you were a member of the in group, when Tet was a member of the in group, he was supported and people would hang on his every word and they'd listen out for him. They'd always ask his point of view. However crazy or kind of eccentric that Tet might have been. But when Tet is on the out group, he is actually excluded. It will be the reason for which he will be shunned and left out of the conversation. And so you can see that for these three reasons, these are three ways in which a culture that presents itself as dominant can become incredibly toxic to those who are not members of the in-group of that culture. Now, this is something that I'd like us all to start to think about. If we are not able to extend the size of our in-group beyond our tiny native tribe, what you will have is lots and lots and lots of disparate groups with lots and lots and lots of disparate in-groups and out-groups. And what that'll mean is that mankind will be absolutely fit for the picking by those who would wish to enslave, colonize, or otherwise control us. It it is the perfect seeding ground for divide and rule. And to overcome this tendency, let me tell you, it's not easy, because everybody thinks that, they should be a member of the in group, and everybody thinks that their way of doing things is the standard typical. But you have to do the work. You have to grow above yourself to be able to pitch in to an international community. And I'm saying that actually, the old days when you got the Europeans over here, the Asians over here, the Africans over here, the people in the Americans over here, and so on, those days are gone. The world is just way too small to have us all sitting at one table, only with gags over the mouths of the people who look a certain way or come from Africa or come from certain cultures and so on. It doesn't work anymore. However much we lie about it, we can see it before our very eyes. So that's the message of this post. It's we can't continue to fake the differences that we have. We only have the opportunity to tell the truths that enable us to rise above those differences. And it's not easy. Everybody has to do the work. Thanks very much for joining.